Hello everyone. In last video we started the chapter food production. Let's continue with irrigation. The process of providing water to crops is known as irrigation. All crops do not require the same amount of water. Like if we talk about rice, it requires a lot of water while wheat requires less. And millets, different crops need water and at different time of growth. Like wheat. Wheat needed water before plowing, at the time of flowering and when the grain develops. Whereas rice, it needs water throughout the season. A good farmer must know when to irrigate the crop and how much water to use. Excessively irrigation causes waterlogging and stop the roots from breathing. It also causes salinization of the soil, as the salt dissolved by water are left behind when the water evaporates. Now we will discuss the sources of irrigation. Traditionally, farmers depended on rainfall for irrigation. Crops with a large requirement of water were grown in area with moderate to high rainfall. And hardy crops which can withstand shortage of water were grown in dry areas. Things they changed to a certain extent in modern times. When the construction of large dams across rivers, water from these dams is carried by canals to many areas which were deprived of water earlier. Indira Gandhi Canal, which has transformed parts of the desert district of Ganganagar and Bikaner in Rajasthan, these are the example. It brings water from the Satluj, Ravi and Peas and has made the cultivation of wheat, cotton, groundnut and fruit possible in once barren land. These canals are called permanent canals as opposed to the inundation canals used to divert rainwater from rivers and streams during the monsoon. The major dams which provide water for irrigation are given in this picture. These dams cannot provide water to all or even the majority of farms. Many of them still dependent largely on rainfall. Rainwater is utilized in two ways. In practice in southern India to the store rainwater in tanks. In northern India, burns are made across streams and rivers to trap rainwater. The water is carried to crop field by inundation canals. In some places, like parts of West Bengal and Assam, rainwater is used directly for irrigation. Well is the another source for irrigation. It have long been used to tap groundwater, especially in those regions which lack surface water resources. Now, electrically operated tube wells are used to pump out water for irrigation. They are popular even in the northern plain when where surface water is not scarce. The areas shown under well irrigation depend almost entirely on groundwater. However, there are other areas where groundwater is used as an additional sources, especially during the dry season. Groundwater accounts for over 50% of the water used for irrigation. Now we will discuss the different methods of irrigation. There are many of methods for irrigation. It is depend the way water is distributed over crop field differs from region to region. It depends on the availability of water in the type of crop. If we talk broadly speaking, all modes of irrigation in which the water is allowed to run over the field fall under surface irrigation. There are several ways of doing this. In the case of crops which do not more much water, the crop is planted on ridges and water is allowed to run through furrow between the ridges. This is called furrow irrigation. And for those crops like rice which need a lot of water, the field is flooded with water by making ponds all around it. This is called basin irrigation. A lot of water is wasted in surface irrigation through evaporation and percolation. So it is not suited to areas where water is in short supply. Drip irrigation is preferred in such area. It involves the use of pipe fitted with small tubes called ammeter. The pipes are laid over or under the soil and the ammeters release water drop by drop around the roots of the plant. This is the method of drip irrigation, and this is sprinkler irrigation. Now what is sprinkler irrigation? It is used when the land is uneven and thus not suitable for surface irrigation. It is a better method than surface irrigation is that less water is wasted and water is distributed more evenly. Pipes fitted with sprinkles are laid over or along the field. The sprinkles have rotating heads which spray water over the crops. Okay children, now we will discuss the questions regarding irrigation. So first, question number 5 from B part. What is surface irrigation? Mention two mode of irrigation under this category. So we come, the answer of this question is on page number 8. First, A part. What is surface irrigation? Irrigation in which the water is allowed to run over the field is called surface irrigation. Now first method is furrow irrigation. In the case of in the crops which do not need much water, the crop is planted on ridge and water is allowed to run through furrows between the ridges. This is furrow irrigation. And the second is basin irrigation. For crops like rice which need a lot of water, the field is flooded with water by making burns all around it. This is called basin irrigation. Now come to C part, question number 3. Write briefly about the surface of irrigation in India. The answer of this question is on page number 7. The answer is in the points. So the first point is on page number 6. Traditionally, farmers, this is the answer of question number 3 from C part. Traditionally, farmers depended on rainfall for irrigation. Now second point, in modern times, water from large dams across rivers is carried by canals to many areas. Now third point is on page number 7. In southern part, rainwater is in tanks. Children, I repeat this. In southern India, rainwater is for irrigation in tanks. Now, fourth point, in the northern plains, bunds are made across streams and rivers to trap rainwater, and the water is carried to crop field by inundation canals. Now fifth point in next stanza, in region which lack surface water resources, wells water used for irrigation. Okay children, you will write all 5 points for this question. Goodbye everyone.